Okay, hello.
Hi.
Okay, um, so I want to ask you, what do you think is the significance of food in human culture?
I think like food plays a very important role in cultures because like food is how you actually eating is a very social kind of experience because like every time you eat there's like you get together and then you always mingle and you talk. So like eating is more than just like what's on the surface of it, which is like just to like feed yourself. But eating is like is essentially very social. So like it's very important because like during these meal times you actually like transmit cultures by talking and like interacting with other people in your culture, and also um, food also shows the culture through, for example, the taste and the smells, the aromas. For example, like there are certain foods that are linked to a certain kind of culture. For example, like um, Indian cuisine or like Italian cuisine. So like for example, for Indian food, it's like curry powder is the most important thing, and like for like Italian food, it's like the pasta and things like that. So um, yeah, so food is like, to me, I think that it's really essential for culture.
Do you think that like food can reveal like gender relations within, like, say for example, the setting of a family?
Definitely. Um, for example, how you sit at the dinner table also can show the gender relations. For example, when you, for example, if there's a family of four, there are two women and two men, and in a family, there's this, okay, in like in the world in general, there's this stereotype that men eat more meat, and like women are like the vegetarians and you always eat vegetables. So for example, in a family of four, when there are like three dishes, for example, okay, not dishes, like three food things prepared. So like for example, there's like the rice, the meat, and the vegetable. So more often than not, if you actually notice how the food is placed on the table in a family of four, if there's like one son, one daughter, one mother, and one father, the mother and daughter will like sit together, and the vegetables will more likely be on the female side of the family, and like the meat will be on the like male side of the family. But maybe it can differ for like different families have like different preferences, but like this is like what you can find in most families.
Are there any like particular like food habits or like customs that like is associated with your family? Say for example, like like in like your household, is it like a gendered division of labor when it comes to food preparation, or would like males help out as well? Because there's a stereotype that women are like the kitchen is the woman's domain. So, is that prevalent in your family?
Definitely. Like when it comes to the preparation of food, usually it's my mom who does the preparation of food, and I I'll prepare food also. But it's not um, strictly in a sense that. But I don't think it's a very gendered kind of thing because like it's a more like natural kind of thing. Like, oh, my mom has been preparing the food for like the past 20 years, so it's just natural for her to like prepare it for the next 100 years or so, because like it's more convenient for her to, because it's more convenient because like she knows how to cook, so it'll be faster if she prepares the food. And like if like my brother and I were to prepare the food in the family, like things might not turn out really well. So we do like prepare food sometimes, but usually like the kitchen is my mother's domain. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that the food would reflect a certain identity? Like, say, a person's choice of food reflects his or her identity.
Definitely, if you talk about like vegetarians or, for example, vegans, people who decide to go vegan, they openly like talk about why they want to go vegan. Like they want to make sure that like there's no harm done to the planet, or like they see that eating eating animals is like extreme cruelty. So maybe for example like strict dietary requirements really show your identity. But for example, if you eat anything and everything, I think it's a bit harder to show what kind of identity that you subscribe to. So I think if you want to talk about identity, then it needs to be like the kinds of if you are very specific about the types of food you eat.
Okay, and lastly, are you familiar with Peranakan culture and Peranakan food?
Um, sort of in a sense, yeah, like a little bit.
Okay, what do you know about Peranakan culture? Like, would you be keen to try Peranakan food?
Um, Peranakan food, I think, it's not that whether I'm keen to try it or not is a different matter. Because like Peranakan food is quite close to like Malay food because it's a hybrid of like Malay and Chinese cuisines. So like, yeah, sure. I think it'll be quite interesting. But at home, my mom does prepare some Peranakan food, like for example the sambal belacan or like. But you know, like there's some Peranakan food that has like pork in it, like the. Yeah, I'm not sure which one, but yeah, they do have some food that's pork in it. So like, obviously, like I don't get to try that because I'm Muslim, so I don't eat pork. Yeah. So other than yeah. The thing that is very interesting about Peranakan food to me is that it's actually like a hybrid, like it's a mix and match of two different cultures, and you come up with like an entirely like different kind of cuisine, a way of cooking. So that's what's very interesting about Peranakan.
Okay, can. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, right, last one. Would you say that like your views of food are like more like you have particular views on certain dishes because of who you are? Does that make sense?
Not exactly dishes, but the types of food.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like I will not eat McDonald's because but it's not really because of who I am, but more of like because of what I think and what I've been exposed to. So for example, like I've been exposed to like frightening videos about how food is made in McDonald's. So like it's made me like feel very repulsed at the thought of eating McDonald's. And like and for example, another thing is obviously because I'm Muslim, so like my by not eating pork, it kind of like reveals who I am, part of who I am. So and like the idea of eating pork also kind of like grosses me out. Like even though like I have never like eaten it before, I cannot really explain the feeling, but like I would just I don't know, I would feel very repulsed at eating it. Yeah, at the thought of eating it.
Okay. Alright. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.